As a man, investing in your appearance is one of the most important and pivotal things you could do for your image, your confidence, and your self-expression. And on a little bit more of a deeper level, it's one of the more fun ways to show the world who you are, your creativity, and just the things that you like, the way that you want to be received by people. But the thing is, menswear and men's fashion really can be expensive. And in previous years, it was almost like if you weren't wearing the highest tier designer or the most expensive sneakers or the latest drop, if you weren't wearing Supreme, you were not well dressed, you were not fly. That's literally what the media and the culture has made us believe up until a couple of years ago, when the culture change finally came and started to shift the way that menswear and men's fashion was consumed and perceived. Nowadays, we have so many small brands and independent creators that have kind of taken back the industry and have really brought a new light into menswear and men's fashion as a whole. It's no longer about the most expensive designer, it's no longer about the most expensive brand, and it's no longer about clothing just being expensive just to make it expensive, which is what a lot of these brands would do. Now, for the most part, whenever there's a price tag attached to a garment, there's a reason why. Whether it's the intricacy of the garment, whether it's the fiber, whether it's the origin, whether it's the ethos of the brand, whether it's the dye technique, there is a reason why. And the thing is, good quality clothing, even luxury clothing, does not have to be super expensive. And no, I'm not saying it's gonna be cheap, and I'm not making this video to offer you cheap clothing, but what I do offer you time and time again on this channel, as well as what I'm gonna offer you in this video, is good quality, even luxury clothing at reasonable prices. And this video is all about a couple of different ways to do it. So with that being said, let's get right into the video on how to dress better for less. So the number one is gonna be pretty simple, and you guys have probably heard it before, but I'm gonna explain why. Yes, number one is to invest in quality basics. And I know everybody says that, fine. The reason why it's number one is because I wanna get it out of the way. So what happens when you invest in high quality basics is that not only do you get a garment that lasts a long time regardless of the upfront price, you kind of don't even have to buy them for another couple of years. And basically, due to the cost per wearing formula, even if a garment is relatively expensive, the more you wear the garment, the cheaper it actually becomes. The formula is actually very interesting, and basically, from what I understand, you divide the price tag by the number of times you're gonna wear the garment or how many times you have worn the garment, and you'd be very surprised to see that a garment that you've worn a couple of times for 35, 40 bucks becomes actually more expensive than a garment you spent $90 on, but you get 50 wears out of it. And the thing with high quality basics too is that your garments really speak volumes about who you are, and also really elevate your outfits and provide a good base for more statement pieces, which is what we're gonna talk about later in the video. And the thing that we have to understand is that even the untrained eye can perceive and see and understand quality even to the slightest degree. The perfect example of this is how everybody wanted the t-shirt from the Bear, but for a while nobody knew where it was from. But the t-shirt from the Bear, which is the Mersby Schwanen 215 tee, is a testament to how people could see quality even on the most plain and basic garments. This is why I think it's so important to invest in high quality basic t-shirts, high quality basic sweaters, high quality raw denim jeans that are gonna last a long time and fade with your body movement, and even quality made woolen or linen and silk sport coats that have that longevity factor. These are the things that are gonna sit in your wardrobe and provide a base for your new garments to kind of stand out on and look high quality. The next trick that I want to tell you about, which is something that I use all the time, is to start investing in secondhand garments, because they're so much cheaper, and if they are luxury or quality made items, they're still gonna last you a long time, which is why they're able to be sold secondhand. And I literally do this all the time. I literally live on Grailed, which is one of my favorite websites. I pretty much just search up any brand that I like or any item that I'm looking for before I purchase it to see if my size is available on Grailed. And if you guys have seen my videos before, you know that on my pickup videos, I talk about where I cop these garments from. A lot of them are from Grailed. I use Grailed all the time. I'd probably go as far as to say that 35% of my wardrobe is actually copped off of Grailed. A lot of my 18 East pieces, a lot of my Wife New York pieces, some selvage denim, some Supreme, even 316 pieces. I mean, there's so much on Grailed, and what I love to do is I love to favorite the items that I kind of want but don't necessarily know if I want to spend the money on. And what'll actually happen is over time the price will reduce if the user wants to kind of put these items on sale a little bit, or you can even negotiate the price and give offers to the seller and negotiate from there. Sometimes they'll take it, sometimes they'll give you a counter offer. This is why I love marketplaces like Grailed, because there's so much great quality clothing available that people either barely worn, haven't worn worn at all or have just simply had for a long time and they kind of want to try something new. I also love using Grailed to kind of experiment with my style and cop pieces that I wouldn't normally cop. Grailed is a place where you could save a lot of money on. And no, I'm not sponsored by Grailed. They don't know who I am. I'm not just saying this. I use Grailed all the time, but there's plenty of other marketplaces like eBay and Depop where you could find plenty of clothing as well. So I would definitely open your mind to more secondhand garments, especially if you love tailoring. eBay is one of the best places to get real authentic tailoring, such as suits, dress pants, sport coats, woolen garments, even exceptional quality overcoats for such a minimal cost, at least in relative perspective to how much they would cost. The next trick that I love to use, which I always want to push my viewers to take advantage of every year, is that a few times a year, the curators of Essence, Farfetched, End Clothing, No Man Walks Alone, Franklin & Poe, a bunch of these different men's fashion and menswear curators have these really wicked sales typically at the end of every season, which is going to help them make space for new inventory, but is also going to help people like us who want to cop clothes, good quality clothes for much less. So typically what I like to do is if I want to prepare for the spring summer, I'll start copping clothes at the end of the previous summer season, because wicked sales like the Essence sale has garments for 60, 70, sometimes 80% off on their most aggressive end of season sales. I mean, I've gotten garments like my Curator NYC denim shirt, my Awake NY St. Maria shirt, and even my Story MFG pants. And Essence has so many brands that I love, like Needles, like Curator NYC, Awake NY, South 2 West 8. I mean, they have so many luxury brands for clothing that can cost hundreds of dollars, and they knock it down to maybe $100 to $200. And like I said, I'm not promising you cheap clothing, but I am promising you luxury items at much cheaper prices than what you would normally get. Curators like End Clothing also have a really wicked sale a couple of times a year, as well as Black Friday, which are both sales that I really love to take advantage of. And another one of my favorites is No Man Walks Alone, which is a high-end curator based in New York, which retails out some of the highest quality clothing manufacturers that you could possibly find. And they carry some of my favorite brands like Mon Italy and Wythe New York. And these are garments that are currently available on the regular website of Wythe. And sometimes you could catch a garment on sale that's not on sale on the regular site. This is why I always love to hunt for the sales. And I know everybody talks about, oh, sales this, sales that, but there really is a true art form to finding the best sale for you. So all in all, typically what I want you to do is I want you to start exploring your options for the end of season sales, because that is where you're gonna get the most wicked markdowns. The next trick that I implore you guys to do, kind of going off of the last trick, is if you find a brand that you really love, that you really want to support, but if your pockets are kind of struggling like mine, I always love to sign up for their newsletters and wait for their exclusive sales. And I know everybody hates junk mail, but the thing is, if there's a brand that you really like, and if you really enjoy men's fashion as much as most of us do, then are these really junk mail? And with these newsletters, they oftentimes give you sample sales where you could buy some of these intense, crazy garments at a fraction of the price, or you can get access to early sales where you're able to experience the benefits with the highest possibility of finding your size within their limited sale inventory. And sometimes there's just sales that literally only the newsletter people could get. Brands that I know that do this are Story MFG, Essence, No Man Walks Alone, and Huckberry. All of these brands and curators have at least 1 to 2 secretive or invite-only sales that you can only get access to from the newsletter. And believe you me, I have saved so much money on having access to these private sales. The last trick that I want to talk about, which is one of the tricks that I used when I wanted to start building my wardrobe from the beginning, is that I oftentimes spent a lot of money with skate brands. Because the thing with skate brands is that they're not super cheap quality, they're also not super luxury either, but they do have some of the most creative, vibrant pop colors, intricate design details, and just overall fashion forward look with a really reasonable price tag that's honestly just kind of hard to pass up. And I've said this so many times before on my TikTok, but I love brands like Obey, I love brands like Palace, I love brands like The Hundreds, and to be honest, even to this day, Supreme still has a couple of good pieces. Granted, those are a little higher priced, but I mean, I've seen garments on Supreme that should be thousands of dollars that are really honestly for the price quite reasonable. You just really gotta know what you're looking for, and you gotta understand how much things really cost. Like for example, I've seen 100% silk shirts on Supreme for like $175. I mean, you go on any other website and you'll find a silk shirt that could cost you anywhere from $350 to $650 to $850 even. And then if we circle back to brands like Obey, I mean, they have some of the most interesting knit garments that have these vibrant colors, intricate design details, and exquisite fit for sometimes under $100. Most of the time, these garments are gonna be under $200. And in my experience, these kinds of garments have lasted me a long time from these skate brands. I have not had not one single problem with any of the brands that I mentioned. I have not had one garment ripped. I have not ruined one garment. They've never gotten weird on me like some garments can over time. I'm still wearing these garments to this day. So that's why if you're restarting your wardrobe and you've already invested in the basics, but you don't want to spend $200, $250 on a jacket, you don't want to spend $200 on a pair of raw denim jeans, go to Obey and buy an $80 pair of washed pleated denim because it's good denim. It's not salvage, it's not raw, but it's a really nice, very streamlined looking jean that's gonna fit the bill. It looks fashion forward and you paid like 80 bucks for it. This is why I always implore you to check out these skate brands and really get yourself acquainted with what you can find for these honestly very reasonable prices. Anyways guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I know that this video was a little different from what you guys are used to, but I feel like the menswear scene is growing and I really just want to help as many people as I possibly can start to figure out their own style and not make as many mistakes as I did, because I could definitely tell you that half the stuff that I have behind me, it looks nice, but sometimes I just really don't want to wear it. I wasted a lot of money and I really don't want you guys to waste money. So if there's anything in any way that I could help you do that, then I'm always happy to, and I really hope this video covers those bases. If you guys have any more suggestions, any more sales, any more brands that should be covered on this topic, any more curators, anybody that you know, any way that you know, definitely drop down in the comments. Like I said, I don't know everything. I always learn from you guys, and you never really know who you could help out in the comments. I look forward to seeing you guys' comments and seeing how you guys stay well dressed on minimal cost. And for those of you who are new here, welcome, and I hope that this helped you out. But anyways guys, as always, I'm super late for work. I love you guys for watching. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next week.